Let's talk about something that sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, but, well, it's happening right now. We're diving into a technology that promises to do what we once thought was impossible, to literally read our minds and turn our thoughts into data. And get this, all without a single implant or surgery.
But let's kick things off with the question that's really at the heart of this whole thing. What if the one place that has always been completely, totally 100% yours, your own mind, could suddenly be opened up and read by a machine? And this isn't some late-night philosophy question anymore. It's a real problem that scientists are grappling with today.
So to understand how this is even possible, I want you to picture this. A quiet lab, probably late at night, where two Australian scientists are about to fire up a device that could change everything. There are no scalpels, no implants, nothing invasive at all. It's just a simple-looking cap, lined with sensors, designed to do one thing: listen in on the brain's quiet electrical symphony, right from the outside.
So how in the world does it actually work? Well, it's this really elegant four-step process. First, those non-invasive sensors on the scalp, they pick up the incredibly faint electrical whispers from your neurons. Step 2, the device starts reading all the complex patterns, the ups and downs of your brainwaves. Third, and okay, this is where the real magic happens, a seriously powerful AI gets to work, decoding all those messy signals. And finally, step 4, the AI translates that neural chaos into something called semantic output. In plain English, it creates meaningful data, like the actual text of a thought or an image that you're picturing in your mind's eye.
Now, our two scientists in this story, they really represent the two sides of this incredible coin. On one hand, you've got the neuroscientist, who is just buzzing with excitement. They see a future where we can restore speech for people who've had strokes, give a voice back to patients with locked-in syndrome. The medical potential is staggering. But then you have the ethicist, and they're pumping the brakes, asking the tough questions like, are we really ready for this? Are we ready to break down the final wall of human privacy?
So the experiment begins. The neuroscientist actually places the cap on their own head. The room goes silent, and you could just feel that tension, That feeling when years of theory are about to either work or fail spectacularly. The plan itself is simple. Just look at a few images on a screen and see if the AI can figure out what they're looking at, based only on their brainwaves. As the data starts streaming in, the neuroscientist is trying to explain what's happening. They're saying the AI isn't just seeing random noise, it's actually learning the language of the brain. It's finding the meaning, the semantic structure behind all those raw neural impulses. In other words, it's not just detecting a signal, it's starting to figure out the intent behind the thought.
And we really can't overstate how ridiculously difficult this is. Trying to read brainwaves from outside the head is incredibly hard. For one, your skull is a natural barrier. It dampens the signals and makes them faint and noisy. The AI's job is to somehow find a crystal clear pattern in all this low-resolution static. It's like trying to perfectly understand a whisper from across a roaring football stadium.
And at first, my gosh, it works! And it works astonishingly well. An image of a cat pops up on the test screen, and just a moment later, a blurry but definitely recognizable cat appears on the AI's monitor. Then a car, same thing. Then a house. With every success, the neuroscientist is getting more and more excited. The potential is right there, clear as day.
But then, something else flashes onto the monitor. It's not a cat, not a car, not a house. It's an image that wasn't part of the experiment at all. The ethicist leans forward, totally confused. Wait, what is that? That's not in the sequence.
The neuroscientist's face goes pale. That triumphant energy in the room just evaporates, and it's replaced by this sudden, chilling shock. They look at their colleague and whisper, "Wait a minute. I didn't say that out loud. I was just thinking it."
And there on the screen is a reconstruction of a private, fleeting thought. Just some stray memory, an unvoiced idea, plucked directly from their consciousness and put on display for the world to see. This is the shocking moment. The machine hadn't just completed a task, it had overheard a thought. That initial moment of awe, it vanishes, and it's instantly replaced by this fierce, whispered debate right there in the middle of the lab. They knew this line existed somewhere out in the future, but they just crossed it, and now they have to face the monumental implications of what they've just unleashed.
And the two sides become so incredibly clear. The neuroscientist is arguing this is a miracle tool. It can restore communication for patients with ALS, for people in a locked-in state. It's brand new hope for stroke rehabilitation. But the ethicist pushes back hard. This could be the end of mental privacy as we know it. This opens the door to thought hacking. Who owns this data? What's to stop this from being turned into a weapon?
And let's be really clear, the promise here isn't abstract. We're talking about millions of people, right now, all over the world, who have lost their ability to communicate because of a stroke or ALS or locked-in syndrome. Can you imagine giving someone who hasn't spoken in years the ability to just think the words, "I love you," and have their family hear it? The potential for good is almost impossible to overstate.
But that haunting question from the ethicist just hangs in the air, and it sums up the whole dilemma perfectly. We wanted to help a patient find their voice. What if we've just given someone else a key to their mind? And that one question, it just reveals the massive, two-edged sword they've created.
This single experiment pushes us out of the lab and forces us to confront a future that is approaching way, way faster than we think. For all of human history, our minds have been the last truly private place. What happens to freedom of thought when thought itself is no longer guaranteed to be private?
And this leaves us with an absolute minefield of unanswered questions. Who owns the data your brain generates? I mean, who owns your thoughts? How can we possibly protect them from being hacked or misused? What kinds of laws do we even need to invent to begin to regulate this stuff? And will there be an opt-out button when this tech becomes common? Where do we draw the line between a medical miracle and total surveillance?
Ultimately, the science is here. It's not coming, it's here, and it is accelerating. We are standing at a doorway that we really can't close again. The technology has unlocked the mind. So the only question left for all of us is, who gets to hold the key?